this year's Six Nations is going to be it's going to be fantastic, because the biggest and probably best game is going to be this first game when France take on Ireland. Two teams that are probably coming into it off the back of a disappointing Rugby World Cup, but they know they have to start off really, really well. Nothing to choose between the two teams. Both have key sort of talisman out now in Sexton for Ireland, Dupont for France. So it's going to be a huge, huge game where they have to perform, and this is going to be a close one to call, but I feel that whoever wins in this opening game is probably going to go on to win the championship.
So who does win?
I think everybody's going to be stuck on this, and we are splitting hairs. Who's going to win? Well, for me, again, there's going to be nothing. Both teams are coming into it cold. You know, there's been no games since the Six Nations. So for me, the team that's going to win, and I think by a slither, is going to be France. And I say that probably just on the fact that they're at home. They're not going to be playing at the Stade de Francais because that's shut for the Olympics. So France are going to be playing down in Marseille. The stadium itself, it's going to be hostile. The crowd are going to be right on top of you. And I think it's going to be the little edge that is going to help France win that game. But boy, it's going to be close. Well, I think the Six Nations, it's going to be interesting to see what England do show outside the game. In the World Cup against South Africa, we haven't seen a lot from England. Been disappointing in the Six Nations. Players left, players on a sabbatical. So you got Farrell, but you got Courtney Laws, Vunipola that have retired. Lots of players that are injured. So it's going to be interesting to see where Steve Borthwick takes this team. One of the key things for me is this backline. We've got to get it functioning. We know over the years England been pretty strong in the set piece. We know we can kick a ball, but for me, we need to be able to prove something and cause problems in the backline. We see it with other teams. You know, we see it with France. We see their players getting the opportunity to test teams on attack. We see it with Ireland, but with England, we just seem to be playing within ourselves. So it'll be interesting to see, can we now get this backline going? And if we can do that, then we're going to be very competitive. But it'll be interesting to see how we go in that first game. We know that Marcus Smith is not in, so selection is going to be key. But you know, what a great opportunity for this new England team, and hopefully we'll do well. You've got Emmanuel, who's been playing for Exeter, who has been outstanding. He's been scoring tries for fun. We're talking about getting this backline going, you know, players being able to take people on and score tries. You've got guys like Tom Roebuck at Sale Sharks. He's been fantastic for the last couple of years. I'm hoping one of these young lads will get an opportunity, can get some good ball in hand, and show us what, you know, they can do. You know, if they do, then they'll cause teams a lot of problems. But I think across the board, you know, everybody wants to see Marcus Smith get more game time. You've got other teams like France, Damien Penaud, who's been fantastic for France over the last couple of years. He's been one of their key players, and that's saying something when you've got Dupont, who's been outstanding for France. He's a player that can turn a game. You know, he looks to spot the interceptions. He's really switched on, but he's scoring tries for fun at the moment. So he's going to be another key player. You've got Kinghorn, Kinghorn for Scotland. I love watching him play. He's scored some outstanding tries. I think playing in Six Nations is what most players want to do. It's a huge tournament. It's played every year. You know that if you can play in the Six Nations, there's great media coverage around it. There's great opportunities. You're going all over Europe, playing against, you know, some of the best teams in the world, and testing yourself as a player, testing yourself against the best players, against the best teams, the best coaches. And for me, that's what it's all about. You know, you might be the best in England, but, you know, can you turn up? Can you go to France, you know, to Marseille in those cauldrons? Can you go over to Ireland? Can you play them in their back garden and still perform? And I think the Six Nations can bring the best out of players. It can expose you, but it can also bring the best, and it can be a great platform onto other things. So the history behind Six Nations is huge, and if you can be successful in Six Nations, then it can give you a platform to go on to do some amazing things in World Cups and Lions tours.